G'day guys, how's it going? It's Parko here again from House Park Brewing. Just got a couple of beers, two very different beers as you can see by the appearance. Got the Kvike Pale Ale, the Hornindal, the Hornindal yeast, and just a generic run-down-the-mill porter, good for this time of year sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know which one I want to talk about first, but what do we go with the porter? So, fair chunk of bittering hops only, so I've just put like 86 grams of Fuggles at 60 minutes. SSO4, let's have a look at the notes. So it basically, it was just fermented in the FermZilla, nothing special about this one. 1 hour mash, stirring every 20 minutes. Essentially 5.1% ABV. My brewhouse efficiency has gone up to 70%, which might not sound like a lot, but for a brew in a bag setup, I think that's pretty decent, especially if I'm buying the recipe at 68%. So it's only 2%, but hey, I'll take the wins when I get them. And the Lockdown IPA, I've got Kvike Pale Ale, the Hornindal. I think I've used that yeast before, but I can't remember the tasting notes of it. And when I did smell it in the sample, it had a fair bit of, definitely the Kvike strain character, which people either love or they hate. And I'm still not convinced that I'm a fan of it, to be honest with you, because it's like a bit orange peel. Sort of ripe orange peel. Yeah, so I'm not too sure if that's sort of the effect I was after. There's like 18 litres in the keg, so I'll give it a good couple of weeks before, I fully make wine up of it. But essentially, this one was a no chill, so it was just straight out from the boil and into the cube with 50 grams of Columbus. That's the only hop addition. That's pretty much about it. Once again, 70% for the brewhouse efficiency, so I'm pretty happy with that. For tasting, I might try. It's only 10 to 5. We'll try the porter first. Typical notes, just really nicely. Really standard for a porter. Sorry, pressing buttons there. Yeah, chocolatey, not too much roast obviously, but yeah, just your run-down-the-mill porter, nothing too fancy about this one. Although the good thing with the FermZilla is that, you can rest this on, I suppose you could, get rid of the yeast cake, like open up the valve, get rid of the yeast cake, close the valve, and then put some cherries on down the bottom, and then reopen the valve, and then essentially you got a cherry porter, or I guess the FermZilla is just really versatile like that. Whereas the other fermenter that I've got, the Kegmenter, I guess you could do it, but there's a little lid opening and a lot of opportunity for oxygen to get in the beer. So, but anyway, I'm starting to yabber, so I'll just do a couple of quick tasting notes, and then I'll tell you what I've been up to, and then that'll be it. So yeah. It's only like 2 days in the keg. Just delicious, just chocolate, just liquid chocolate, essentially. It's really nice. Really happy with that beer. And this is the first time I've tasted it too, so there's no pre-pilot testing or whatever, so this is straight from the keg, first pour, first glass, loving it. So really good. Okay, just let me rinse them out. Okay, I'm going to give this time. I gave the Kvike, what was the first strain, Boss. I gave it a fair bit of time the first time I tried it, and I was like, not a fan. Don't know. It was brewed at 32. you know, essentially was all done within like 6 days, which could be a little bit too long for some Kvike strains, I don't know, but yeah, that's when the gravity reading was pretty steady. Yeah, it's that orange peel thing that's just, anyway, let's get in for a taste. Okay. It's still Kvike, you know it straight away. I hope that improves. It's still very clean, it's still very nice. There's just no, you know, I wouldn't expect too much hop aroma, but I still would expect a fair bit of hop, you know, flavour. But essentially 4.8, the Kvike Pale Ale, Hornindale. Yeah, so 2 very different beers on tap. And yeah, I definitely will give the Porter a crack, and I definitely will give the Kvike Pale Ale a crack as well. I'll keep you posted. So this is the first video I've done in a long time. I don't know the exact duration of the last one, but it has been a while. So just a couple of mentions, like all my mates in NZ and you know, down south of the border. I'm in Brisbane. We're lucky enough to you know, still be active and everything like that. But you know, thoughts are with you guys out there. So yeah, when will it end? Who knows? Hopefully soon, because you know, there's some real detriment coming from it, and it's pretty bad. So yeah, look, what has been happening? I changed my keg setup to the Duo-Type, the screw-in fittings, and if I've edited this video properly, you'll probably see a photo of that. So that's happening, that's good. I've drilled a hole basically at the back of the collar, so that you know, the cord for the temperature controller isn't going over the collar, it's actually going through the back of the collar, so that's another improvement. Brewing wise, I think the brewery's pretty much stayed the same. Just brewing a bag. Yeah, single element. Yeah, pretty straightforward. What else has been happening? A good friend of mine, Anne, I gave her my very first acoustic guitar because she's essentially bored out of her brain. She you know, doesn't have anything to do because of all this COVID nonsense. So you know, thoughts go out to Anne for sure. Really good person, and you know, hope good things for Anne, and you know, yeah. So hopefully she uses the guitar, and hopefully she gets some good use out of it. What else? Oh, today I went on a bit of a silly hike. It ended up being like 20 kilometres by the time I got back to my car, which you might think 20 kilometres doesn't sound like much. Once again, if the video is edited properly, you'll see some photos. But a tough hike. Saw a carpet snake, saw a couple of monitors. Yeah, so all in all, I essentially come out on, I think it was Mount Glorious Road, and this is up Mount Nebo in that region. And yeah, I was like, oh, great, I've got no coverage. I don't know essentially how far back to the car is, the walk. It was about 8 kilometres. So, you know, 6. So the hike itself was 13, and the walk back to the car, which, you know, running out of water, running out of trail mix, just completely unprepared, just an absolute idiot. And yeah, I essentially had to hail someone, and Hannah, I know I don't have your details, but you are a champion, thank you very much. You definitely saved my life. I don't mean to dramatise that, but I was flailing. I was just, yeah, not in a good space. So yeah, made it back to the car, just had a couple more, you know, drinks of water because I had more water in the car, and got back on my merry way. But yeah, geez, you know, do your homework. If you're going to do some hikes, do your homework. I certainly can be a little bit vulnerable and a little bit too confident sometimes. And yeah, there was a few times in that hike where I was like, I really want to stop, but you can't, because you're 8 kilometres from the road and no one knows where you are, so you've got to keep going. But anyway, look, I'm probably going on and on and on, I don't know. But look, I hope you're all well. I know all this COVID nonsense is just horrible, it really is. And I hope you're hanging in there. So we'll come out of it a lot better, I know we will. But yeah, just have to remain strong. I know that's, here I am up in Brisbane saying that. Hopefully, all the people down south don't think that I'm having a go at you, or an NZ. But yeah, essentially, if you want to call, give me a call. It's all good. I always love a chat. So yeah, brewing's going really well. I've got a couple of 15-litre cubes that I've just been holding on to for futures. I've got an IPA recipe which it's only Munich malt and various hops, and because of the Munich malt, I'm calling it, and it's an IPA, I'm calling it Munchin the IBUs. So a bit of play on words, I generally like to come up with some quirky names for my beers. So that's definitely one of them. So yeah, but look, just have to remain strong. I don't know, that's fine for me to say, but a couple of things. Yeah, but brewing's going really well, so I'll see you in the next vid. Take it easy.